So, hello everyone, we got Connor from Undead Photography here today. He's gonna talk some more about his work and his line of work and stuff. Okay, how long have you been doing photography for bands and...
About 8 months.
Yeah.
It's
quite, yeah. What got you into doing band photography and stuff?
Band photography, I worked at a place called The Hermit in Brentwood, where I worked since I was like about 15, I think. And as soon as I started doing photography, it got me more into like taking photos everywhere I went. So, especially at work. So I went from just being casual like mosh pit control and that kind of stuff to being the venue's photographer.
Fair enough. Any other venues you worked for?
Yeah, I worked for obviously the Hermit, and I worked for 4 DJs of the Apocalypse, which were, they had Church of Rock nights on Sundays in Romford. That wasn't really for the venue, but it was for the company that ran the nights, so that was cool. And then I've worked in Chinneries, like not for Chinneries, but I've shot bands in Chinneries.
Did you have any difficulties working with bands in specific?
Nah, not in specific. I mean, bands are pretty like down to earth when it comes to everything that involves, like, say, photos of them or whatever. But the only problem is that they never really have any money because they always do it as a side project. So, yeah.
Yeah. Any other issues you came up across within your line of work?
Other than people spilling drinks like near your camera, nah, not really. I've had a few people like moshing near me, but that's not too dangerous if like you know what you're doing. The only other thing I would say that is a bit annoying is people bumping into you when you're trying to get a shot. So you're like setting up a shot and you got it all lined up and it's all perfect, and then somebody knocks into you and you.
That must be annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, how about venues? Did you have any difficulties working at any venues or places like that?
What I've seen, like personally, no, I've never had like difficulties with venues. I know some people do, because venues normally have a venue photographer, which I was, but I never really cared if somebody came in and took photos. Normally a band would hire out a photographer and stuff like that. I mean, I'm there to take photos for the venue, or I'm there to take photos for the band. It's not like the two can actually like cross or whatever. They're for completely different things. It's like you wouldn't get annoyed at somebody, I don't know, putting up a poster outside like a shop. I mean, as long as you've got permission, then you're fine. So. Yeah.
Can you tell us more about your interest and what got you into like venues and bands photography?
Band photography would be from working at the Hermit. It was just so easy for me to transition into band photography while I'm at a place where there's so many live bands and everything. And especially building my portfolio, that was probably one of the main things that I wanted to do. And the other thing is portrait photography. That one's always been like a thing of mine, because I actually want to be a alternative fashion photographer. So instead of shooting glamour models and all that kind of thing, I want to shoot tattooed models for like Iron Fist clothing and all that kind of stuff. So it's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool actually. What about your inspiration? What you draw inspirations from? And
everything, I'd say. Everything that is around me. I mean, I think you'd be a pretty bad photographer if you couldn't look at something and go, oh, well, that's inspired me to go do this, or other artists inspiring you. So, yeah, I'd pretty much just say, like, my friends, like, people like me. I mean, like, I own a company called Undead Photography. It's not like I'm not going to go take photos of babies and stuff. Like, yeah, I'm going to go take photos of bands, I'm going to take photos of alternative things and like tattooed people and all that kind of stuff.
Also, I found out that you're currently doing a BA degree in university. How is that doing?
Yeah, it's going pretty well. I mean, only sort of going into photography about 2 months before I started my course, but yeah, kind of shows
that's a rather quick transition.
Yeah, you got to be good at something if you can get a degree, if you can go to a degree course in it.
Yeah, anyway, thank you very much. It was very nice to talk to you, and I really enjoyed the evening. Hope you enjoyed that as well.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, cool. Fair enough.